Hey everybody, welcome back to Spirited Food. It's Andrew. Today I have something really special to show you. This is a client interview of someone who went through the food coaching process with me, where we worked on something very specific to get the client healed and nurtured back to an acceptable level. And check these out. I think you're really going to like them. There's a lot more stuff available on our Skool platform, which you can join for free. There's the address. Hope to see you there. Please like, share, and subscribe this video. It really helps our channel. We're trying to spread the message of food being a healing medium and using food therapy to better people's lives and better their health. That's what Spirited Food is all about. So if you find someone who might benefit from this, please pass it on. I appreciate that. And with that, let's get into the interview.
I've been continuing what we practiced, sticking with my food plan, keeping my eye on the goals, and I'm down 38 pounds since we started. So,
man, that's huge. That's great.
So I feel like it's just a start. I feel like the goal was to have a lifestyle change, and I feel like now I'm on a path where I can do this long term instead of like a short-term diet kind of thing. And so that's why I feel like and the plan is to just kind of continue what I'm doing.
Yep.
There were foods that just weren't worth it, like that I was eating out of convenience, and they were so high on the glycemic index that I didn't really enjoy them enough for the price. And so it was easy to just eliminate those.
But to get better and to make progress in your health, you didn't have to really give up a bunch of stuff, did you?
No, not really. It was just really kind of being more conscious, more self-aware, and more conscientious, I'd say.
Right. And we worked together directly for a little over 3 months.
Yeah. I was familiar with you and your work and your food, most importantly. So I knew that, being familiar with your food service and the way you cooked and stuff, I knew I'd enjoy the food. So, and I felt like you would steer me in a good direction. I just needed a little nudge, some I think all cooking, food prep, that kind of instruction was really helpful. Yeah. And then a nudge in the right direction for the diabetes stuff and actually putting something in place. Right. I've done diets many times, and then I go on them, I fall off them. It was different and it was worthwhile. I think it was money well spent and it was a good investment. And I feel like, more than anything, I was, like what you gave me was, being my cheerleader, and more than a coach, just an encourager. And you're so positive. Well, that's the thing is, I already know this works. As long as you, like you said, put this into practice, I already know what's going to happen. So I'm just, please do your homework. You do, and you did, and here you are. Well, my diabetes in particular. So I'm off my diabetes meds, which was my goal from the beginning, and I phased it out. I was on 2 medications. Yep. I stopped the Ozempic first. Yep. And then I phased out my metformin, and so now I'm completely off my diabetes meds, and my blood sugars, I've been monitoring it continually, and they're normal, but it was low enough to get off my meds. So that was the most impactful, which was my goal, and that was that was a home run. So, yeah. So is this something that you would recommend to others? Yeah, absolutely. I think the supplements are really key. I had a lot of that already, but it was still, even that, even my wife being a pharmacist, you still had a couple, ideas that she didn't know, she wasn't aware of. And so we implemented those too. And I felt like that was helpful, and it continues to be helpful. Even though I'm off my diabetes medicine, I'm on a couple of things that, a couple of tricks that you had up your sleeve that helps with the blood sugars, which I think it goes a long way. For my situation, it was a pretty safe bet. And I feel like I've known you for long time. I felt confident in your knowledge and kind of what you brought to the table. So I didn't feel like it was a big risk. But it was such a good investment. And even in hindsight, that, if you can improve your health, even a little, it goes a long way. And that was, that's something different, that a lot of this information that you have at your kind of your knowledge that you already have, you kind of already know what to do. You know how to, you should eat healthy, you should exercise, you should do these things. But that extra nudge, that extra encouragement is what I felt was a difference maker. And your whole approach to, it wasn't even in like, I didn't, but these baby step changes really worked, and worked better than I expected. So I think that's, and when you think about it, you should be able to do these things on your own, but you don't.
I hope and I know that when people see this will help other people to get on board and start helping them with their lives, because that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
That long-term, sustainable, healthy solution.